Hey everyone! Today I'll be talking about the Hobonichi Techo. So this is my first ever Hobonichi and I knew I would get here eventually, but recently I've been feeling very expressive and just having a more expansive mindset. So that led me to needing more space in my journals and planners, and I know it sounds crazy, but now I have 5 planners. Of course, I bring them in and out when I need them for certain things, but this one is very unique. It is, it's very small, first of all, so you can tell it just fits into the size of my hand. You pick it up, it will be great for a pocketbook, a backpack. I didn't get any cover with it. This is the English version, A6 Hobonichi Techo. Techo means planner, journal, life book. So it's a little bit more than just a planner. I think it's more kind of talking about life and little life notebook. So it has that beautiful gold engraving up on the top with a little key. On the side, it says Hobo. That's kind of interesting. And then 2022, a gold etching, and then you can see the spine here. And this is it's a soft cover, but it feels pretty hardy. It's not leather-like, but it does feel like it has some texture on it, and it is very tiny. So it's a little different than the usual A5s or larger that I use, but I needed some more space and I needed a blank page every day. I've been journaling a lot more of my thoughts, doing a lot more writing for a personal project I'm doing. So I needed something that could accommodate that. And I know Hobonichi has been around for many, many years. This is probably the most popular planner in the whole world. It's fascinating because at the last page, it tells you your unique Hobonichi Techo number is, this is in the 3 million. So, and this is just for the Hobonichi 2022. So they are selling a lot of it. And Hobonichi is a Japanese company. They've been around for a long time. And what they're known for is their ability to fit an entire year's worth of pages into a little book. So they have some other versions that have a weekly layout plus the daily. They have larger sizes. This one is their English version. So they have it in Japanese too. And just going into it, you go in, immediately the paper feels so smooth. So this is my first time using the Hobonichi Tomo River paper, and it feels different than the Take a Note, and I'll do a comparison at a future time. But it's all Monday start, which is classic for Japanese planners or a lot of Asian planners in general. They do a red on the Sunday. Here you have a log of the months. Some people use this as mood tracking or project planning. You might write a project and just draw a line down. You have a nice little space underneath each month. And all grouped up in the front, you have your monthly pages. So right now it's not doing a true flat lay because it is quite thick. But once you start flipping it, it does lay quite flat just by how they bound this book. So you have December of 2021, and I know I'm getting into this in February, but I still can make a lot of use out of this. You have all the months all grouped up, so it's separated from your daily pages. And then they give you a few in 2023 in case you need to plan something early next year. And it has an etching of 2023 that doesn't appear for 2022. So you're not confused which year you're in. And they give you from March up until March, and then you have a blank page, turning the page to a new year. Up here, you quickly have exactly which month you're in, based on the markers there. And this is a blank page to get you prepared for the upcoming month, and you have your daily pages. So this is a little different than the Japanese version. The Japanese version, they have a few more times. So they would through 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12, 3, 6, and so forth. But this one is very sleek. It only has 12. So it's not quite a planner in my mind in that it's not quite a vertical planner. It kind of just divides it, like this is your morning and then this is your afternoon or evening. And it has a little meal stamp there so you can write down what you eat. And here I picked the English version because I love quotes, and I work alone and I work from home, so I'm careful to get up in the morning, get dressed, and get ready for the day. And you have a little monthly snapshot right here of the date circled. You flip over to the next page and they have another monthly quote. I like to consciously make time to write in my Techo. It's not just about writing in the Techo though. I also write letters and write to organize my thoughts several times a week for about 2 hours. I like making time to do that. So I was a little surprised at these quotes. So I'm used to motivational quotes or quotes that kind of, inspire you in a very bold way. This is very subtle and it's very classic, I guess, to the culture, but it's more subtle and really beautiful quotes. And if you look here, binoculars and a star chart are my companions when I look up at the stars. Sometimes looking through my binoculars make me cry. They bring my eyes a little closer to the stars. And they say right here who it's written by. And they also circle the 2 dates. So each page is a brand new date. So you get a brand new page every single day. And these quotes are beautiful. And I know the Japanese version also has quotes, but it's all in Japanese. And while I can't read Japanese, I just did not want to miss out on these really, really nice quotes that kind of spark something different in you to think about. It's not in a motivational, in your face, let's go, go, go kind of way. It's very subtle. Yeah, diversity. Why is there so much of everything? Adaptability. Why is it all so well made? When you look at all the organisms in the world, these are very puzzling questions. And this is an anthropologist. So I think you can even use this as a prompt to write if you're not quite sure what to write about. This is definitely not a goal-setting agenda, which are very not popular in Asia. I think they're mostly popular in America, where you have specific goal-setting agendas. The Hobonichi is just a very customizable book. I did some writing already for the date that I got it. I did it in cursive, and you can see it has ghosting. So it has ghosting on this side, and I know ghosting is a big deal to a lot of people. It is also to me, but I think that's the trade-off I would have to be able to use this really smooth and beautiful paper. I mean, my pen just glides over this paper like Nathan Chen on ice, just really smooth, really beautiful. It is just such a nice writing experience that it makes you want to write more. So I understand why people use this Hobonichi paper. And I know the paper is going through like a change of company or hands right now, so we'll see if next year still feels like this. But it is just so smooth, and you can fit so much of it in such a small footprint, right? I mean, the closest I might be able to describe it as, it almost feels like Bible paper, but it feels smoother, right? It feels smoother. And this paper is known for, like, you're able to do watercolor and it doesn't leak to the other side. It has ghosting, you can see it in that it will have that kind of shadow, but it won't bleed through to the other side. So people use this for collaging, watercolor, all sorts of mixed media materials. So this is great for artists who want a blank page every night and to do something. And I chose the A6 version because it's small enough that I'm not intimidated. Sometimes if a page is too big and I don't need that much space, I feel bad for neglecting it. So I just wanted to try it, and I think it'll be good because right now I'm doing a lot of writing in my expansive mindset. So you can tell on a Sunday it is red. So that's something to keep in mind. They have the moon, they have what week it is, and what number date it is. So October 3rd is the 276th day of the year. So it's very unique. I think they really struck gold with this layout. I agree. I understand why people obsess about it. I understand why people love having the whole year in one tiny book, and you get a fresh page every day. Sometimes if you're working on a weekly layout and you kind of mess up, or you just don't want to keep looking at the same page, that's when you would bring in a daily. And then at the end, they have a couple of dotted red pages, dotted grid, important contacts, international size charts for blouses, shoes, hats, rings. You have a ruler. Oh, this is nice. They have it in centimeters and inches. And you have a conversion table, which is cool too. And top our my 100. So some people use this to write down the 100 books they read, or they use this to write down 100 different recipes they want to try, or bucket list things they want to do. And then for 100, so I think this is pretty cool because it has a little check mark. You can really title it however you want, so it's very customizable. And this is kind of quirky. They're talking about Donburi rice bowls. So I love Donburi rice bowls. I would say, I mean, there's nothing better than a hot rice bowl with your favorite food on top of it. So they even have little illustrations, and I like that they include something a little quirky each year in their Hobonichi Techo. And now they're talking about animal proverbs and phrases. So give a gold piece to a cat. One word from a crane. So it's kind of cute. You get to also learn it in Japanese if you're learning a little bit of Japanese as well. And then personal notes, it's interesting that it's at the end. Most of this is usually at the beginning in American planners. And I just thought this was so cool. Your unique Hobonichi Techo number. And I am loving it. I've only started writing 2 pages, but I wrote a poem down because this is like the perfect size for a poem. And I wrote a quick diary entry or journaling entry. And I think this is the perfect for like journaling, decorating, art, maybe some to-do lists if you split it in half. I know the Japanese version, they actually have a few boxes here for you to write your to-do list. And that is a trade-off I had to give up because I really wanted the English quotes. And I just think it looks really great. I see why people love it. I can show you the poem I wrote. Still, what I want in my life is to be willing, to be dazzled, to cast aside the weight of facts, and maybe even to float a little. Above this difficult world, I want to believe I am looking into the white fire of a great mystery. I want to believe that the imperfections are nothing, that the light is everything, that it is more than the sum of each flawed blossom rising and falling, and I do. By Mary Oliver. And it just feels like the perfect place to write a quote. It's not cluttered with my to-do lists. It's just the perfect size for it. To capture a quick snapshot of what you're thinking about, what you're reading, what you're writing, or what you're drawing without the pressure of having to see it for the full week all at once. And then when the day's over, you flip up. You can start again. So it is a dream to write on this paper with the fountain pen. I highly recommend this this paper to fountain pen enthusiasts. It shows off the sheen quite well, but more importantly, I think it's just very smooth and glidey. I don't know if this Hobonichi Techo paper would be, or the Tomoe River paper would be the best for gel pens because it doesn't quite absorb in as quickly, so it might take longer to dry and you might smear it. So it is a little tricky. And I think if you are to use this, maybe I think like colored pencils would be really cool too, because I just feel like it'll add a lot of shine to it.
This overall is a fantastic planner. I see why people obsess about it, why it's the most popular planner in the whole world. I tried to hold off for a while, but I guess in this stage of life, I just wanted a little more space, and this is perfect. And I like the size. I like the size because I have other planners. I think if I were consolidating to just one planner, I might get their A5 cousin instead, which is about 2 of these. So it would be the same size as my Take a Note planner. So A6 is half the size of an A5. It's A5 cut in half. So you can see there's about 2 of them. The cover makes it a little larger, but it's basically like 2 of them. So you have to really like imagine your normal A5 and just cut it in half and then see if you might want enough space. And I do think it's enough space because you're fitting in a full page for a day. If it was split in half, like 2 days per page, I might not think that's enough space. But for a full page a day, I think the A6 size is perfect. And there's no other planner that you can get an entire year's worth in just this amount of room. If there is, let me know, but I have yet to find a whole planner. In America, the paper is very different. American papers are much thicker, or North American, Canadian papers, they're much thicker. So you won't be able to fit a whole year into just a tiny book, because this paper is so thin that you can do that. But American paper is thicker, and I think it works well because some people, they don't like ghosting. So that's the trade-off. But this is high quality thin paper. I'm not sure how else to describe it. It's very different than like, oh, it's just like newspaper paper. No, it's very high quality. Your pens don't feather in it, which is nice, which is where the ink kind of splatters everywhere. But it's thin, and I see the hype. So I'm excited to use this. I'll do a review comparing it to some of my other planners, maybe the Take a Note planner, to see different things. And I might do a pen test for everyone at a later time. So thanks for watching. Bye.